Expect the first tomorrow night when the bell tolls 1.
Well, couldn't I take them all at once and have it over with, Jacob?
Expect the second upon the next night at the same hour. Expect the third upon the next night when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate.
It's been quite an interesting journey coming from Nottingham Playhouse and then reteching it for this space because it's much bigger. But it's just so extraordinary to be here. It was designed for Ali Pali, and therefore, the whole design just blends into the managed decay of the surroundings so perfectly. It couldn't be more perfect, really. It's different. It's just that kind of. There's an allure, isn't there? I think it's sort of like finding a forgotten amphitheatre or something. It's rich in its history, and it's just perfect for Christmas Carol, obviously. I've always wanted to do it, and I've always wanted to play Marley, and I've always wanted to do it very faithfully, because I think in a strange way, sometimes the radical thing to do is to go back to the book. And there are large sections of Christmas Carol which are often glossed over, particularly things like the ghastly children, ignorance and want. And I remember that line, this boy is ignorance, this girl is want, beware them both, but most of all, beware this boy, has always haunted me, appropriately enough. And I wanted to do a full-on, very faithful version that would be scary and joyous and intensely theatrical, which it is. And also, really, we wanted to make the kind of show that if you came to the theatre the first time, age 7, it would seduce you forever. And that's, I think, is what we've done, I hope. First of all, I was very keen to have Nicholas Farrell as Scrooge. I've always been a huge fan. I've never managed to work with him, but I've always liked his work very much. And he's about 10 years older than me, and I do think Scrooge needs to be somewhere in his 60s for you to feel that he thinks it's too late to change. I think it's good. We grew up with white-haired, long-haired Scrooges who looked like William Hartnell, and I think that's kind of correct. The theatricality of it was crucial to me, and that it had to be not like just going to see a TV or film put on stage, and it really has got all the things that I love about the theatre. It smells of orange peel in my mind. Well, I used to, at the end of every interview I ever gave, there used to be any unfulfilled ambitions, and I always used to say I want to play Jacob Marley, and no one ever picked me up on it. And eventually, when I was doing The Madness of George III with Adam Penford at Nottingham, I don't know, we just started talking about things like that, unfulfilled ambitions, and I said I've always wanted to do it, and he leapt at it. So I've sort of, I did write a version once for TV, which didn't happen, and things like that. So I've sort of skirted around the edges for a long time. And then, it was a very straightforward yes, really, from both of us.
Remember what has passed between us, Ebenezer Scrooge.
I've got to come up with a new answer now about what unfulfilled ambitions are. I can't just move on straight on to Scrooge. I mean, well, it'd be lovely. I'd be very happy if my version became a bit of a staple as well. That would be nice. So, give me a few years. Captain Hook is my new answer. But then no one will listen. I'll have to do it myself again, I do have, what I'd really love to do is the Pickwick Papers. I've been reading that for ages, and throughout lockdown, and it's such a wonderful thing. Dickens's first hit, it's full of brilliant things, and Mr. Jingle is one of the greatest characters he ever wrote. That's an exclusive there.